I think it's pretty safe to say that by far, one of the most mysterious aspects of the sequel trilogy has all to do with Rey's lineage, exactly where she comes from, and who her family really is, in these Star Wars films by director J.J. Abrams. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars content. So, the fact that J.J. Abrams introduced the character of Rey in The Force Awakens and is now going to end the character's story with Episode 9 is actually very exciting, because we do know that this movie is going to offer a lot of unexpected elements to the Star Wars franchise when it all comes down to Rey's lineage and her family / her parents. Now, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film, and when it all comes down to one of the set leaks, this is where things begin to get very intriguing for Episode 9. Now, specifically, it's described that one of the scenes that were filmed during the month of October 2018 over at Cardington involved both Daisy Ridley and a young actress around the age of 9 to 12 years old. It's described that a scene was shot for a flashback sequence involving Rey's past on Jakku, where the young actress played the kid version of Rey watching her parents and a young boy board a ship. It's described that the young boy that was portrayed by a young actor is that the outfit was dubbed as Rey's sibling, where it's described that the shirt that the actor wore was dubbed as Quint's scavenger costume -32V. The mysterious character was dubbed as Quint is said to be Rey's sibling. However, it's unclear if they are related by blood or were both close under adoptive parents and are step-siblings. The boy was said to be slightly older than the kid version of Rey from The Force Awakens, where the boy was being brought onto a strange ship on the desert of Jakku. The flashback is said to end with the adult version of Rey now looking at a glass wall inside the Crystal Cave. So let's go over a couple of parts about this, because we do know that one of the big lines of dialogue in The Force Awakens when Rey is talking to BB-8 on Jakku, pretty much it's assumed that BB-8 asks Rey, what she's waiting for, and she replies with, "For my family, they'll be back one day." So the fact that she says "my family" could very well allude to her having more than just a father and a mother. It could very well, connect to what this is actually being in Episode 9 of Rey's sibling, where the actual character is dubbed as Quint. Alright, so the character of Quint, Quint. Very interesting and unique name for the Star Wars franchise that we have never seen before on film. I'm not quite sure if this was a name that was used in Star Wars Legends, so if you guys actually have any clue about that, that would be very interesting to hear. Exactly, where we are going in Episode 9 is a big mystery for the character of Rey, and where she's going to end up being at the very end of Episode 9. So the other piece that I do want to go over is that this is all said to take place within the form of a flashback, where a young version of Rey is said to witness both her mother and her father and this kid that is dubbed as Rey's sibling, also known as Quint-32V, which most likely has something to do with the code for the costume design of some sorts, where the kid is actually boarding this strange ship with, of course, the mother and the father. Now, is it the same exact ship that we saw in The Force Awakens, where Rey is saying "come back" and she's being pulled back by Encore Plut? Or is this a completely different ship than what we ever actually saw in the Star Wars sequel trilogy? Now, the fact that they are trying to really explore more of Rey's past, her family, and exactly what happened to Rey, I think is actually very interesting, because we do know that Rey as a character is very powerful. A lot of people want to learn more and more about this character, and we do know that J.J. Abrams is going to actually explain as to why Rey is so powerful in Episode 9. So with that being said, the fact that they are exploring, Rey's past elements, such as her family and this character that is said to be Rey's sibling, again, like I say, it's unclear if this is a blood brother or if this is a step brother of some kind under adoptive parents or something around those lines. It could very well be something around those lines, right? When we look at Episode 9, this movie really is all about family. J.J. Abrams is bringing back the concept of family and making it a highlight of the rise of Skywalker, which is great, because if you look at the originals, it's really family-oriented. You look at Vader and Luke and Leia, and then when we actually go into the sequel trilogy, it's all about Kylo, Han, and Leia, mostly for the most part, right? And we also have Luke Skywalker in the mix as well. But when it all comes for Rey, we know little to nothing about her family. I mean, she is the main protagonist in these films after all, and we know little to nothing about her backstory and her family per se. Whereas for Luke Skywalker, we at least got to know a little bit where he came from, you know, who his parents really were, and exactly how he became a Jedi and stuff around those lines, which will be explained for Rey in Episode 9. So, aside from all of that, the last piece that I do want to go over is the name Quint. It sounds interesting. I'm not quite sure if Rey's brother, quote-unquote, is really going to be a highlight of the movie, or if it's just going to be a mere flashback where it's going to make the viewer think and it's going to go unanswered by J.J. Abrams. That's the only thing that I do fear about Abrams, is that he's going to have a lot of things left unanswered in The Rise of Skywalker, like new questions, I'm saying, like new burning questions at the very end of this movie. Anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
From night to moon, we hear them moans again.